Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new to industry session. It's February 8th. I've decided to do this session and to see how we'll call it this would go for people that are coming into the industry or have been a little bit a while in the industry. Um, and I will be recording and putting it on our Facebook group and probably in other places as well to help people that are just starting. Quick introduction. Um, my name is Roy. I've been in the business for 24 years, started in 2000. Um, been coaching agents and since COVID, we want to say. I mean, I've been doing training and education for agents for a long time, but during COVID, started pushing more and more. We opened the travel agents helping each other group. That has been really good. I think we're at 11,000 members. Again, the group was created slightly before COVID and really picked up during COVID because we needed people needed help, needed assistance in how to manage, this new thing that came up, restrictions, what's open, what's closed, cancellations, commission recalls, and everything that went on. That's what pretty much kick-started the group. Um, Also, a quick introduction to my mentorship program that I am going to briefly speak about in the next minute or two. Really quickly, I again run a mentorship coach. I'm a mentorship program for groups and for one-on-one sessions. We do 2-3 times a month sessions, group sessions like these, again, more interactive. Agents that join the program actually have access to a dedicated website where they have access to all the sessions, all the recorded sessions that we have in terms of intro to travel, escorted, custom, lots of videos that I've done throughout the year, we'll call it like a year and a half. I have here about 30-40 sessions that we did. They're pre-recorded. I mean, they're not pre-recorded, they're live, but they have access to them. And then we also have one-on-one sessions as well. If anyone is interested, feel free, reach out. That's about it for this. So I asked at the beginning people who just signed up if they have a host or a consortia. I even got questions, what is a consortia or what is a host? Actually have a quick poll here that, again, I was hoping for more people in, but let me launch the poll. And if you could answer the poll, some of it is the same question that I asked at the beginning. How long have you been in the business? And are you part of a host or a consortia? So if you, I would appreciate it if you would answer. It will help me a little bit. But I went over the answers, and from the 28 people that registered, we had about 10 people that were less than a year, 11 people that were 2 to 5 years, and 8 were over 5 years. Again, this was intended for new to the industry. So the goal would be, I would say, under 5 years. Some people still consider themselves new to the industry, with 2 years. And in terms of a host, again, if some of you are not part of a host, and again, someone was asking, what's the best way, or what does the host can give you? For the most part, a host can give you the option to earn more commission. And a lot of agents that are not part of a host, again, everyone here is part of a host, but if you are part of a host, most of them will have top tier commissions with a lot of the suppliers. So yes, there might be a split. But if you take it into consideration, if you're making 16% commission or 15% commission with a host that takes 10-20%, you're still making more than if you would go on your own and sell for 10%, right? So 15% minus even 20, that take away 3%, comes up to 12%. 12% versus 10%, you are still making 20% more if you work with a host compared to being on your own. Now, there is a model. If you are selling only hotels direct, or maybe just do contracted groups and things like that, where most of the commission is 10 no matter where, or you're booking a lot of Disney and things like that, then having the host in that specific situation might not make sense, and you can, or you could go direct or with a Clio or an IATA. But for the most part, and for most agent, it actually does make sense to be with a host or a consortia. From the people here in the group, 3 are less than a year, 1 is 1 to 5, all 4 are within. The question about marketing, we'll get to that as well, and the E&O. Okay, good. And we have the what's the E&O, and most of you guys are selling all-inclusive and ocean cruises. So for that specific situation, I'm assuming that's why everyone here is with a host, because that would make the most sense for you. And consortias as well. A consortia is multiple agencies that bound together in order to have more buying power. And there's some more perks, and maybe onboard credit if it's cruises, maybe a hotel program, and some marketing plans and things like that a consortia can help you. Again, we'll get at the end to maybe Q&A. So if someone has specific questions about hosts and consortias, I should be able to answer. One of the questions that someone asked is what do I suggest in terms of the best way to keep track of cost for client trips? More to the ones that have a bunch of different components, separate flights, Viator excursions, trains, hotels. I'm not sure if that person is here, but I am going to answer that one. There are, I would say it's a multiple question, because best way to keep track of cost and information for a client, that's normally where a CRM comes to place, right? Customer relations manager. It's a tool that allows you to input all of your clients' information in terms of personal information, maybe credit card payments, preferences, vegetarian, wheelchair, likes to cruise, hates all inclusives, anniversary on the 5th of September, and they always go to an adults only all inclusive something. But you come up with something that you can create a profile, and then keeps all of their trips. You can see last year they went to Antigua, next year they already have planned to go to Europe, and so on. You can get all that information in a CRM. When you are beginning and you've just started and you don't have enough business to, let's say, justify an expense like a CRM, because in most cases it will cost you more. It will cost you $25 to $50 to $70 a month. Sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not. There are other ways where you can keep track. Some people put it in folders for like Outlook folders or their Gmail folders. Some will put it in folders in the computer, maybe have an Excel of each specific person or by month. I've been working on Excel spreadsheet for the first few years where I went into the business, and later on, and as everything grows and you need to track final payments and deposits, and when to book a transfer, and on insurance and things like that, then you probably want a more organized system. At this point right now, when I'm opening up my system, I know exactly where everyone is at this point. If I have people that are about to leave, about to come back, at destination, deposits that are due, final payments that are due, and all sorts of reminders that I've set up for myself in the system. So it is helpful. But you also want to be very mindful in terms of the expenses. Don't start if you're just starting the business and you're not making enough money, you want to make sure that you don't go into too much overhead and expenses. And the second part of the question was, how do I organize it for the client, right? How the client would see it. If you guys are interested, I can show you something that I'm doing for clients, but I do have some sort of an itinerary builder. You know what? Let me show you quickly how something like this looks. I don't know if you let me look, let me open one of these itineraries. Okay, let's do it for these guys. Okay, so I am sharing my screen. For example, this is a family that is about to leave shortly. They're leaving on the February 17th. This is a simple itinerary. This does not have too many components, but still they have a flight and it's a charter. With Sunwing, they're leaving out of Newark. This is their information. They have a private transfer with Nexus. They're going to the Fives. They have a transfer back and they have the flight back. And they have insurance as well. So all the information is here. There's information here how to check in, where to find the check-in counter because it's a charter. There's some options here. Normally, if there's a destination that requires like, Punta Cana or Jamaica where they need to fill a form, there's, all the e-ticket form and the information. All their documents are here. So they have the insurance, I have the travel documents. If you click on it, then it will pop up. And then in addition, for this specific program, which is called Access Travel App, which again is an extra cost, but it is available. They also have an actual app on their phone for Apple and for Android, and they can access all of the trips. They can see all the documents, and you can see all the documents. So if I'm opening up my own, I have my own travel app as well. So I go in it, and if someone is looking for the documents, I don't know where the transfer is. Did we book it? What's the confirmation? I have access to it on my phone to each and every of the my travelers. So it's a good feature. Again, I would wait until you have enough clients to justify the expense. I always say take a portion of your profit. So let's say you made $1,000 this month in commissions, take a portion of it, 10%, to roll back into the business, see that everything, what comes in, and then again, a portion of it, and then plan your expenses to add maybe a CRM, maybe an itinerary builder, or things like that. So so that's it. There was a question here, and I think I put it in the poll as well, right? Or like who about an E&O. Let me see if I still have the poll here. So I asked who has E&O. E&O is a short for error and omission, and that's insurance. That's a personal liability insurance. A lot of hosts, a lot of agents recommend having error and omission. What it is if you made a mistake, and I'll put like an asterisk there, but if you make a mistake that causes someone to have a big financial strain, or if you sent someone and something happened during, and you made recommendation to, I don't know, you sent them on a cruise and they got drunk and they fell off the ship, right? It doesn't happen unless they actually jump and probably really, really drunk. But let's say that, and they come and they sue you because you made the recommendation for that ship, and that's why I guess they drunk, and fell off the ship. Then this is where the E&O will come in and help you with attorney fees and things like that. I'm specifically talking about these big things where someone might get hurt, or something really big, and not, oh my God, I told my client it was 700, but actually it's 900. So the 200, I'm just going to file a claim with the insurance, because that doesn't work like that. First of all, it's probably not a covered, it's not covered under the E&O at all. And for the second reason, normally these E&O insurances have deductibles. Some of them are quite large, so I wouldn't recommend it. And if you make too many claims, then um, then they might drop you. I am muting some of the people that they have some background noises. If you still want to ask any questions, unmute and ask the question. But if you have background noises, please unmute back so it doesn't interrupt everyone else. So E&O insurance, is it a must? It's not mandatory. There's nothing in the rules and laws says that you have to have an E&O. Some host agencies require you to have an E&O before joining. Some hosts and some agencies will have an E&O umbrella that you can join under them. Most of the time, it will be with a very high deductible. I would say the same thing about the CRM and the itinerary builder. If you're just beginning and you have time to make sure that everything goes well on the trip and you planned everything, sorry, then you might not need the E&O at the beginning. The likelihood of you having something like that are very, very low. I've been in the business for 24 years. The people that I know that filed for E&O insurance, probably I can count on one hand. And then from those people, there's probably 2 or 3 that actually maybe got the claim, because I don't want to use harsh words about the insurance, but it's people think that they're covered, but in most cases they are not. There's a lot of things that are not covered under the E&O umbrella, and it's kind of like it's a safety net that you utilize as, I know there's a safety net, so I'm okay. But when you actually need it, it's not too effective. So it's if I've been in the business for 24 years. If let's say I did not have E&O insurance for the last 24 years, if something happens, I probably, the fees that I paid probably would cover such a situation. But let's continue. And again, if anyone has any more questions or want to talk a little bit more about any of the specific subjects, then let me know. So my recommendation normally when people start the business, I tell them to get a niche, to be a specialist in something. At the beginning, when I started my business, at the very, very beginning, I was selling the world. If someone wanted to go and need a hotel, need a car rental, we're going to college hunting, we're going to see this, they're going to whatever was needed, I would book it. Now, it's one way of doing things, and it's okay, I would say, at the beginning when you want simple stuff. But if you are getting requests for Iceland, and then a safari, and then Hawaii, and then Disney, and then an all-inclusive, the chances are you will not do a great job selling that specific trip. Either people will not buy from you because they will feel these are not good recommendations. It doesn't look like this is, the person doesn't seem professional. He doesn't really know what he's talking about because, again, and in some situations, it's just going to take you so much time to do the learning about the ships or the ski and the Alps. Or again, there are so many things to learn about in the world. I would say that if you decide that you want to specialize in something, and it doesn't have to be, I only sell cruises, I only sell all-inclusive, or you can define a market that could be family travel, couples. I sell romance, I do destination weddings, I do adventures, I do river cruise, I'll do, mostly Europe to older folks or with families. Just decide on some sort of a niche that can be quite broad and focus on that. Think about, I always tell people, someone will come to you and say, oh, I really want to buy this. Should I just let them go? Because I can probably sell it. I don't know, maybe. But I give an example of, someone going to a Lamborghini dealership and telling them, I really want to buy a Mercedes. They're going to tell them, look, I sell Lamborghinis. Mercedes is a great car, but you have to go somewhere else. I only sell Lamborghinis. I also specialize in Porsches. You can buy a Porsche as well, but I don't sell Mercedes. So it's not a bad thing to come to tell a client or a potential client, look, this is not my specialty is XYZ. I can't maybe I can recommend someone who does the thing that you want, but this is my need, this is my specialty. It's quite broad. I do this, but I really don't do Greece, right? When you have a request for Italy, Spain, and Singapore, feel free, reach out. I'll gladly help you. For now, again, the grease that you want is just not in my wheelhouse. I don't, and they should respect that and say, oh, this person is a specialist at what he does. I want to use his services for the next time, for the things that they specialize in. And again, that really depends on you. It's very, very hard to tell a potential client no, right? Especially when you are hungry for work. So expand a little bit of the things that you do. If you are totally available, you're not working on anything else, and you are saying, look, I'm okay, I understand what you're saying, but right now I am in a mode where I'm just gathering clients, and I'm okay with spending hours and hours educating myself and learning about this new destination that I've never sold before. That's okay. That is okay at the beginning. But as soon as business picks up, as soon as you have something that is steady and you are booking, one trip a week or something, and these types of trips take a long time, I would highly recommend that you start scaling down and start focusing on something when you are a specialist in a specific destination. Let's say you are a Japan specialist, or something that you specialize in. People will come to you as a specialist. At that point, you are no longer competing with the Expedias, the Orbits, the Costcos. You are not, because you bring something different to the table. And I am not just saying this because it's Japan or France or Hawaii, which could be complicated. My specialty is Mexico and the Caribbean, the all-inclusive, the cruise ships, right? Everyone can go and click and do New York to Cancun, right? 5-star, let's sort by price. This Expedia gives it 4.8. Looks good to me. Let's go ahead and book. It doesn't really work like that. And you guys know it, because a 5-star property in Cancun means nothing. You can go to TripAdvisor and you will find 5-star reviews and 1-star reviews for the same property. The reviews mean nothing. Once you are a specialist in your field, let's say Mexico or the Caribbean, you know the products. You've personally been to the properties, and I don't know, you see this picture, and I don't know if you know where it is, but in the most part, when I see a picture like this, I'm like, I know where it is. First of all, I took it, but in general, I go a few times a year to these destinations, and I see a lot of I do a lot of site inspections, and I see a lot of ships, and I cruise a lot. So that's my specialty. That is my niche. And you can be a specialist in something that seems uh popular and easy to book, but nothing is. Okay. So again, try, and if you are doing it, do the best that you can. Educate yourself, go to the supplier, do the supplier training, whether it's online or maybe in person. If they do a lunch, a dinner, the destination, the tourism board, they'll do events as well in your local area. If they have FAMs, try and get to that destination at least once a year if you can. If not, every other year, but as much as possible. And when you are at the destination, even with your family, take a few days, 1 day, 2 days, and see some sites, do some inspections, go and do the actual work. seeing, meeting people, also that would pretty much turn that trip into a total business expense, right? Even if you're going with the family, then your portion can be a business plan because you went, you saw you met people, you have meetings, you have things on, on your schedule. So it's certainly highly recommended that you do that. One more thing that I train people when we do our sessions is how to qualify the clients, right? And qualifying the clients is something that I would say it's a little bit of an art, right? You need to learn from it. You need to have a list of questions that you are going to ask your clients when you're talking to them. And with these questions, it's supposed to be a 30-40 minute session at the beginning where you ask a lot of questions, you get a lot of information from the client. And that's what differentiates you from a website, because you input Expedia or Google what it is that you want. We want a hotel with a pool, 5-star in whatever, that will be all inclusive, that has kids club or adults only. But and then it won't ask you the other questions. Are you looking for a big property or a small, like a boutique property, something big with multiple restaurants? Are you looking? I'm seeing that your flight is at 6 in the morning. Do you mind if it's going to be in the grill where you have to drive another hour and a half? And because you're leaving your house probably at 3 in the morning, you're connecting, it's going to be a really long day. Maybe we should focus on a destination that will be closer to the hotels are going to be closer. Maybe Montego Bay, maybe Cancun, maybe Punta Cana, maybe other places where it's not that far. There's a lot of information that you might have that you can bring to the table that an OTA, an online travel agency, won't ask, right? The kids, are there a boy and a girl? Because this is 2 queen beds. There's no room for a sofa. These are teenagers. Are we okay with the kids sleeping in the same bed? They're 14 and 16. Probably not going to work, right? You want a room that will have maybe 2 queens and a sofa bed, maybe 2 connecting rooms, or a hotel that is not helpful with connecting rooms. So selling 2 rooms is not helpful versus, there's a lot of information that you can gather and ask. How is the beach important? Are you looking for a water park? Or people that are saying, I want a really large water park, but I need it at a boutique hotel, right? Doesn't work. There's no such thing. So find a boutique hotel and take an excursion to a water park. But the resort can't be boutique and have a large water park. It just, what you're asking does not exist. And that kind of interaction is really needed. And again, it's not just the all-inclusives. I'm focusing a little bit about all-inclusives because I saw that in the poll. But same thing for for London, same thing for if people want to do Hawaii, they have 5 days and they think, oh yeah, we'll see the volcanoes and we'll go to Pearl Harbor and then we'll stop at Maui for something, and it doesn't really work like that. So people need to understand, and you need to know and educate them when this is your time to shine and explain what you bring to the table, right? If you sell Disney and you explain to them what you're going to help them with, if you sell Atlantis, and yes, after that I can help you with the dining, booking the restaurants at Atlantis, or we can book the cabana, or maybe excursions. When we do it, we'll also arrange the transfer. We can have the insurance as well. We're a one-stop shop, right? You can buy everything from us. You don't need to go to United for the flights and Atlantis for the hotel and whatever for the transfers, and everything is here. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure. And even the things that you're not aware of, we're going to let you know. By listening to you, they should feel comfortable and safe and say, you know what, this person really knows what they're talking about. I want to book with them. And towards the end of the qualification, I will set expectations with the clients, right? I'm awfully busy right now. It's wave season. It will probably take me about 2 days to send you a proposal. So I am going to work on it probably tomorrow afternoon. So expect it in about, maybe like a day and a half in the morning. Or no problem. You know what? This just went up to the top of my list. It's 4 p.m. now. I'm going to work on it. by 7 p.m. you will have, because you want to go February 20th. This is urgent. I'm going to send it to you, and then we can even review it together, because it's less than 2 weeks. So we'll probably need to finalize it. So I'm going to send it to you. We can review it together and hopefully finalize today and book it. Right? So set expectations, let them know when should they expect an answer from you regarding the proposal. I also tell people that at the beginning, since we are dealing with all inclusives and sometimes there are multiple suppliers, I'm not going to 10 suppliers to check 5 properties or 4 properties. I will go with the one that I think would give the best offer. I will send it to them, and I also advise them, look, these are first, we're focusing on finding the right property for you. We'll make sure that the flights are good, that the price range is good. It's kind of like, I'm going to send you information. I need feedback. This is good. This is bad. We're going to send a few more options back and forth. We're going to find it. Once you're saying to me, I really like option number 1 and maybe option number 2, I'm going to say, okay, perfect. Next time, let me check with a few more suppliers to make sure that we have the best price for it. So if you went on and you saw on like Expedia or whatever, you found it cheaper, no problem. We could do price match. Just send me the information. Don't worry about it right now. We are focusing on finding the right product for you. And then I will double check with multiple suppliers to make sure that you get the best price. Right? So if they got it and they went and checked the websites or later went into Expedia and said, oh, but Expedia is $500 cheaper. But he said, right now, we're just focusing on the property. We're not too worried right now about the price. We're not booking yet, but we'll let them know. And then if need be, we'll adjust it. And of course, I don't normally offer the cheapest category. I am not the person who will go from the top to the bottom, right? You're not going to get the 2-bedroom butler suite from me at the beginning, but you will get, an ocean view or a beachfront or partial ocean. I don't normally go to the run of the house, but I don't normally go up all the way to the top. But I will tell people, look, the categories that you're getting are, if it's a couple, I'll probably offer a swim up. And, if it's with families and kids, they'll probably be connecting, even if it's 4 people and not, just one room with 2 beds. So again, and I tell them that. So I'm not going to send you the cheapest category, but let's try and work within your budget. And if that doesn't work, we can always go back to the tropical view run of the house rooms. So it's fine. And again, that goes to the qualifying, setting expectations. After you got all the information from the client, right? We created the Facebook group, and you guys probably have seen a lot of people asking questions and a lot of travel agents getting upset. Why are you asking questions? The problem is not why are you asking questions, is how do you ask the right questions? And after you've qualified your client and you understood for them what it is that they're looking for, right? You can go and crowdsource, ask, what's the best all-inclusive in Cancun? What's the best all-inclusive for kids or whatever? That's not an answer that anyone can answer. If this is the only thing that you got from qualifying your clients, then you didn't you didn't get enough information. I did put an example in our Facebook group, like what a proper question should be. And as an example is, I have a couple with 2 kids, ages 14 and 17, a boy and a girl. They previously went to Hard Rock Riviera Maya. That's what they went last year. This year, they're looking for something similar, but in a different place. They really enjoyed a really large resort that has lots of activities and lots of restaurants. They're looking for nightlife, looking for something that is not going to be too far from the hotel. I searched, I found the Hard Rock in Punta Cana, just as an example, and I also found the Lopisan and the Dreams Macau. What do you guys think? Would you recommend this family? These 3 fit in their budget? And what do you think, based on what I gave you, what do you think? Or do you have another resort that I haven't thought of that I should look and recommend? And by saying the dream and these properties, I'm not going to suggest you a Grand Villas. I'm not going to suggest you the Fairmont. I'm not going to suggest you the Oasis Pyramid, whatever, Rio, right? So because I kind of understand what your clients want, and that's the type of question that everyone loves, and you will get a lot of answers, of course, but it'll be very, very specific to the three that you asked, and some that are very, very similar. Someone might say, "Oh, I know you only said you want this one, but look at the Moon Palace in Cancun. I know they said they don't want to go back there, but maybe the Grand in Jamaica, or beaches, whatever." Someone's going to give you suggestions for things that you may have not thought, and it's okay to come to the client and say, "I know you wanted Punta Cana, but I looked, and just so you'll know, Beaches Ocho Rios has a really good offer." Not really, but let's say, but I would probably, this fits in your budget, and I would also recommend that for you to take a look. We get so many people saying, we want all inclusive, family friendly, great price, but no Mexico, no Dominican, no Jamaica. I'm like, okay, here's an option in Antigua, here's an option in whatever. And I know you said you don't want it, but everything here is about $15,000. So here's also Cancun for 7,000. It's your call. What do you want to do? Do you want the 17,000 at a 4.5-star property, or the 5-star deluxe swim out suites for 7,000 in Cancun? I'm okay with each one, whatever you want. What do you think they pick, right? So it's okay to suggest people, unless they're like, "Oh my God, no, Mexico, cartel, drugs, no," things like that. Or it's, we're not trying to educate them about how safe it is. If it's not safe, I'm not going there. But if they're like, we've been there too many times, it's not a place that we want to go back to again, that's fine. But just know what you're missing. But again, if they're saying no to the destination because they're afraid, you don't want to send anyone to a place where they don't feel safe. You don't feel safe, that's good for you. That's no problem. We're not going to go there, right? It's not my place to educate them about the crime rates in Chicago, where they live 5 miles from them. Not my place, not my problem. There are other destinations that I can sell. So that's pretty much how to ask, or let's say crowdsource in a professional group. I hope that helps. If you guys ask the right questions, people will answer. You're going to get so many answers, and the good and the right ones. If you go and you ask the same question in a consumer, we're a family, we want to go to Cancun, what's the best hotel? You're gonna get 100 answers, and that's not gonna help you. That's really not going to help you. And that's the same if you don't ask the right question in a professional group. I asked in the poll, when should you be marketing? And of course, the right answer was always be marketing. Always, always, always. Whether it's on social media, maybe an email, some sort of a marketing plan. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're about to travel, right? Before I went on Icon a couple of weeks ago. Before I went to Icon, we made, because it was a big deal, we made like a countdown. Icon is coming, here's a video, here's the thing, here's a picture, it's now in Puerto Rico, it's now coming to Miami, it's not. We got everyone excited towards the trip, and during the trip I probably posted about 10-15 times a day about the ship, and pictures and reels and stories. And you know what, we booked so much. We're still booking. I just before we finished here, I did two, and it'll just probably continue on and on. But I have my next trip that I'm planning to go, which is in Punta Cana. So I am heading there at the beginning of March. I will probably start posting and letting people know that I'm going, and these are the resorts that I'm going to see, and excitement for the trip, and blah blah blah, in order to get people interacted with me for my trips. Always market. Always, if you see a supplier that is sending something nice, if you see a picture, you see a video, when you are traveling, take as many pictures, as many videos that you can. If you're feeling comfortable, create reels and stories and share them and post them in your personal, in your business, in your website, everywhere. The marketing never ends for the travel professional. You are a business owner, and this is the way to get business, to people to see what it is that you do. After 4 years, I don't get, oh, do you still do this? Or what it is that you do, we're not sure, right? There's no such thing. Everyone knows what Roy does. Every one of my friends and family members and people who just follow me on Facebook, they know exactly what it is that I do. And you need to do the same. If your profile doesn't say that you're a travel professional, fix it. If your profile is not connected to your business page, fix it. If you don't have a business page, fix it. Let everyone know. Open these things so people can see. We get some requests. People want to join our group, and I go to their personal page, and it doesn't say that they're travel agents. If it doesn't say that they're travel agents, why would I book with you? And also, I looked at the list. We had 28 people who signed up. 13 out of the 28 are using Gmail, Yahoo, AOL. If you have a website, you can spend, I think it's $5-6 a month, and you can get an email, probably even cheaper. You get a domain, you get a really nice your name at youragency.com, right? Mine is Roy at we have Memories Forever Travel, which is really, really long. So we also have MFT GRP, which is Memories Forever Travel Group, MFT GRP. So I bought that domain as well. I have multiple domains. We have an info and sales and marketing at and whatever, everything comes to me. I'm a one, I do have associates, but for the most part, all the emails just come to me anyway. But it makes you look professional, right? Send it to info at whatever. It just comes to me, right? We have some forms that we do. I have a 1-800 number, which costs me $9 a month. Not too many people use it, but you promote it somewhere and you write it's a 188 number. It's $9 a month. Again, I am not a big, I'm all for low overhead, but there's some things that can elevate you a little bit. Again, depending on your market. We do a lot of cruises. We do a lot of people that are older, and oh my God, we're going to call long distance, right? There's no such thing, but they won't call long distance, and a 973 number looks weird. So I have a Google Voice number that is a 347, which is a New York number, and we try and do whatever we can to make it comfortable for people to right. It's not a problem for the young people, but for the older people, they really feel comfortable with it. And it helps. It's $9 a month. If I sell one a month that use the 888, and we normally get like 3 to 5 calls on the 888 in a month. But if one of them sold, it's paid for the whole year, so I'm not too worried about that. Profit, right? We're in it to make money. We came to the industry because we love selling travel. We enjoy it. We like to travel too. But if you won't be making money, making commission, selling, then at the end, you're going to leave the industry, right? You can't spend money on a host and E&O and CRM and email and a 1-800 number and business cards and whatever. And then at the end, there's no money coming in. So you have to look at the bottom line at the end. Yes, you can say, first year I might be losing money, which again, I don't think you should, because of very, very low overhead to start a travel business. But let's say you are, at some point, you need to look at your numbers and say, why I'm not making enough. Maybe are you focusing on domestic travel or like Disney or things that are not going to make you a lot of money? You work hard, but don't gain a lot, right? It's okay to book Disney if you charge a booking fee, or you have it down to a science and it only takes you an hour to book someone, and it's fine. But if you have to work hard and you're only making 7%, 8%, 10%, ultimately at the end, then you need to look at what it is that you're selling and what it is that you're doing. You want to strive to the 12 to 15%. It is doable. You don't have to mark up anything. You don't have to charge fees. The price is already built in, but there are a lot of there are a lot of products out there that are elevated in commission that you can promote, and they're good products. We're not picking the product just because of the commission, right? We're neutral. These are good products that clients like. And again, if you find the right client that wants to go there, right? Sandals and couples, and these are good products that pay well compared to other things. So again, I am not saying that drive your business towards who pays you more, right? No, but if someone wants to go to a specific area where you have a product that is good and also offers great commission, you need to look at it and consider it as well. Look at your numbers of 2023, see what's the gross and what's the profit, how much you made. You want to be over 10%, closer to the 15. If you're under 10%, something's wrong. You are doing something that you're focusing on specific products that are, or maybe with a supplier that is not giving you the best offers, okay, or best commission compensation. Let's see. I touched a little bit about fees. At the beginning, it depends. A lot of new agents that just came in, Asta and some hosts are really pushing charge fees. Sometimes it's tricky because you just started the business, you're not really sure what you're doing, you don't have enough business. Why would people book with you where they can book it online, and on top of it you have fees? And then that goes to you being a specialist, you knowing the product, you explaining what you bring to the table and how you can save them time, which is money, or perks or things like that, right? So in my point of view, why to charge fees? A fee can go if you have a lot of tire kickers, if you have a lot of people that are coming and just wasting your time. Can you price this? And then they go somewhere else. Can you price this? And then they don't book. Can you price this? No. Then if you charge a fee, and there's several types of fees, there's a fee that you can bring into the part of the deposit, or things like that, or non-refundable. It's up to you. And that was like, oh, I'm not gonna waste time. This is only $50 and it goes towards the booking, and they're still not willing to pay. These guys are not serious. I don't want to book with them. That's one reason and one option to charge fees. Another option is you are a specialist. You are a specialist in a specific destination where there's not a lot of specialists out there, and you are busy, and you feel comfortable that the $200, $300, $500 fee that you are going to charge to help them plan, and that planning involves certain components that are non-commissionable, right? The taxi that you're getting, the personal guide that it might not be commissionable, but it's a great value for the client, and you're still offering and bundling everything, and you're still going to make commission on the trip, but less than you want to be able to charge a fee that, again, you being a professional in your industry, in the specific destination that you're selling, allows you to do it, right? You're not competing with anyone if you are a specialist in a specific destination. And the last one is, let's say you are offering, well, there's two, but let's say you're offering a product that doesn't exist, whether you have group pricing somewhere, you held space, you have a negotiated contract, or maybe a host has a negotiated contract with a specific property, cruise line, something unique that you can bring to the table that no one can get anywhere else. That's one way to also charge fees. We have a lot of group pricing that we do for Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, and sometimes we charge fees on top of the whatever, because our price is so significantly lower than we allow ourselves to add fees if needed. Okay. And the last one is, again, for example, if you're selling a product that is not commissionable enough, there's an option to add to it, but it kind of like depends. Do you still need to use and sell that product, or maybe again, if you're selling it, but you're a specialist in it, then for the fees, for the professional fees, right? That's most of what I wanted to cover. Honestly, I do have a few more that I wrote down, but I'm not gonna be able to finish. If anyone has any question, anything that I've mentioned or something that I haven't, and you want to ask, you can write it in the chat. You can unmute and ask the question, and I'll try and answer. But again, just so I can explain the sessions, a session like this, and it's normally much more interactive. You guys are still in your shell a little bit, but the people who are joined into the program, everyone's with mics open and cameras, and we meet up almost every Friday at 4 p.m. and we enrich each other in terms of like Q&As and specific subject that people are requesting. If anyone is interested in something like this and you want someone who will hold you accountable and help you plan a marketing plan or take a look at your numbers and tell you where to go and what to do, hopefully I can be your person, but you can, reach out. I will be again recording this session. I will try and put it in a few more places. But I guess that's it. If no one has any questions, I'm gonna wait another few seconds. If someone has any questions, I'm here and available. If not, thank you guys for showing up. And hope to see you again. Reach out. You can message me if you have any questions. Thank you, Valerie. I'm happy that it was helpful. That's it. Have a great week and weekend, everyone. Bye.